Yo, how's it going? The death of the bizarre clout chase era. Never heard of it? Let's go.
Mustard and cake! All the haters will say it's fake!
The Instagram clout era. Much
That's a
simpler
great
times.
intro.
Boonk was stealing lobsters right out of the tank and destroying his local Dunkin' Donuts. Supreme
Oh, yeah,
Patty was
I
squeezing
remember him.
lemons in his eyes and having a smoke break with Santa.
Oh.
Danielle Bergoli, Woe Vicky, and Lil Tay were the laughing stocks of the internet, yet somehow making full-time careers from it. Long neck, wide neck, holy god were, just doing what they do. It wasn't all a spectacle, though. There were some gems in there. We had the Shiggy Show, Fatboy SSE, Reggie Baby, and Kush Poppy, along with many others making genuine content that millions of people loved. On
Oh
top of
my
this, we
God,
had the
bro.
emergence of SoundCloud rap, which was so deeply intertwined with social media viral culture that it was hard to tell the difference between an influencer and a rapper. However, whether it was genuine content creation or straight up clout chasing nonsense, the Instagram clout era is officially over. And with the Island Boys being here and gone within months, I don't think it will ever come back.
Thank God.
Stay hydrated. Before I
course.
start, there are plenty of content creators that I'll mention in this video.
Give me a second real quick. Just this line too. I haven't gotten mine. Oh yeah. Keep hydrated.
Still making a living through Instagram independently. In this video, I'm referring to the cultural relevance and interconnectedness of a number of creators that were exploding in virality from 2017 to 2019. How
I
their
remember
careers
Wide Neck.
exploded to the highest
and
of the
this kid.
highs, and literally everyone knew about them.
I mean, look at Katy Perry. It's
And all the
just
factors that
over here,
led
like,
to the
hyping this boy up.
downfall of this era. YouTube has been the dominant video-based platform on the internet since 2008. However, when the app Vine exploded in popularity in 2013, we realized how big of a demand there was for short-form video content on social media. Unfortunately, behind the scenes, Vine was a train wreck of a company that created one good thing but refused to innovate. Instagram launched its 15-second video feature compared to Vine's 6-second videos, so creators had literally more than double the potential for content. Popular Viners like Lele Pons, Jake and Logan Paul, King Batch, and Jerry Perpdrank slowly drifted away from Vine and would focus more on YouTube and Instagram. By late 2016, Vine had nothing more it could offer to creators, and it was shut down. However, these Viners had a much different sense of humor than what we saw emerge in 2017. It was very PG-13. I don't really have good enough words to describe their humor, so
I feel that.
you can see for yourself.
Hey, let me see your phone for a second.
Okay. Time's up. There's 1 second.
That's not what I meant.
That's what I meant.
What?
What we learned.
Is it silly?
Ask you something.
What? Are you sleeping?
A lot of it was relatable humor with a bit of
Yeah.
a creative twist aimed at teenagers. The skits were usually filmed very well, with added sound effects and creative techniques, but the jokes... There were two other popular comedians emerging,
That's true.
The Shiggy Show and Fatboy SSE. These guys were not Viners. They actually both started out as artists. They were the next generation of comedy on Instagram. Their comedy was R-rated and aimed more at adults, kind of a notch up from the Viners. Shiggy and Fatboy usually had low-quality production, but were genuinely funnier. Plus, they had interests in sneakers, basketball, dancing, and really all things intertwined with hip-hop.
I
Throughout the
never look at
social
you.
media era, rappers have essentially been the gatekeepers of what's cool and status quo.
Nah, that's trash.
I was about to say,
I don't like that.
it's so bad.
That's fine.
So when the rappers wanted to be connected with the lit influencers on social media, they became extremely popular as well. Shiggy and Fatboy pretty quickly had a lot of poppin' rappers following them on social media, and they became sort of the first tried and true Instagram comedians. Now we had the Viner PG-13 humor on one side with high quality skits, and the Instagram R-rated humor on the other side with low quality filming but better jokes, which was poppin' in the hip hop community. Whenever there's a
Yeah.
bar set, someone is always going to push it. There became a demand for content that was a little more crass, a little more shocking and in your face. In 2017, we got exactly that. The TVMA humor came with low quality videos and low quality humor, but they were basically willing to say and do anything for shock value.
Oh, what
the year
the fuck,
2017
bro?
started off with the
Why?
extreme virality of
You're a
Danielle
dick.
Bergoli's Catch Me Outside Dr. Phil episode. Stupid people have gotten famous plenty of times before her, but the whole reason she got popular was because she was an ungrateful, rude little girl who wanted to fight everyone, which was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Instead of being embarrassed by the public bullying, she encouraged it, then built a massive following on social media, just
I mean, look at the millions she's making today. I'm mad. Like,
Continuing the same
genuinely, like, what the
behavior
fuck?
displayed on Dr. Phil. A few months later, we had the extreme blow up of the rapper Lil Pump. While making songs was his actual career, he became mostly known for his social media antics. He had a ridiculous image, terrible face tats, colored hair, obsessed with gaudy and expensive designer clothing. He would post videos of him doing drugs, destroying hotel rooms, starting unwarranted beefs, and basically anything that would get attention. We were entering the stage of not knowing the difference between a social media star and a rapper. In the summer of 2017, we saw the emergence of Supreme Patty and Boonk. Again, both of them started out as rappers. Patty was mostly doing skits that involved him consuming grass. Sorry for all the censorship that's about to take place. He lit up in public, with homeless people, with cops. Boonk, on the other hand, was quite literally just filming himself stealing. From fast food restaurants, sneaker stores, Best Buy, the whole time yelling "Boonk Gang." These two were constantly trying to outdo
Jesus,
themselves
bro.
to keep up with the viral high. Patty's stunts got crazier, and Boonk just kept raising the stakes with his theft, as well as just any ridiculous scenario that they could put on social media so that people would be like, what the fuck? In that
That's what
same
I'm
time
saying.
frame, we had Woah Vicky go viral for taking an ancestry test and claiming that she was 25% black. She went on a tirade identifying as a black woman despite her appearance as white and her mother being white.
She just black. I don't like
Okay.
that color.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she's black, so that sounds about right. All right, so because a lot of people, that seems to be one of the most
Well,
contentious things
really,
about you, is that
dude?
people just refuse to believe that you're actually black.
Woah Vicky was the first to be inspired by Danielle Bregoli and essentially copy her viral formula. Let the world just laugh at me. There was no comedy, no production value, just 100% look how ridiculous I am. And people were eating it up.
Oh my god.
This is a tutorial on how to be a gangster.
First, you gotta get the look. And real niggas always keep a few bands on them.
Jesus
Danielle
Christ,
is now
girl.
Bad Baby and dropped a song called Hi Bitch, which racked up 50 million views in 2 months because it was kinda good and we didn't want to admit it. Then she started consistently dropping music generating millions of streams. Naturally, all the IG clout demons followed her lead. Patty, Boonk, Vicky all started dropping music and all of them were getting big numbers. I would say 80 to 90% of the people were curious, but some people were actually fans of their music. By the end of 2017,
Oh,
the foundation
no,
was
that's
laid
too
for this
far.
nonsensical
Oh,
TV
no,
MA
that's
shock
hella
value
far.
Instagram humor. It was in 2018 where it would all reach new heights we never could have predicted. The Instagram clout wave was becoming a real career. These influencers were actually making money and were building a genuine fan base
That's
despite
crazy.
being a mockery. Hip-hop pages and media outlets were consumed with this clout culture rather than actual music, which led to a lot of bullshit being promoted and true talent being sidelined. We had this culminate to Lil Tay becoming famous, who gained over 1 million followers in 2 weeks. She was a 9-year-old girl directly influenced by the Lil Pumps, Bad Babies, and Woah Vickies of the world.
Ballin' in the I-gate. I dropped 200 racks on this car, and I'm only 9 years old. I got the keys to this car.
They even got into a
Holy
fight.
shit,
Okay,
dude.
then do it then. Then do it.
We would later find out this was all orchestrated by Tay's older brother, but in the meantime, millions of people all over the world were indulging in the absolute farce that was the world of Lil Tay. Supreme Patty was linking up with rappers and building genuine relationships. Lil Xan was exploding in popularity. Lil Pump was in his peak. 6ix9ine was in his peak. Every single rapper was covering their face with tattoos. Adam22's No Jumper YouTube channel was once a place for covering emerging talent, but became one of the biggest media outlets giving these people a platform. Mid-2018, these Instagram warriors were generating more interest and viewership than actual rappers. They were living the high life. Plus, they were all collaborating and working together. These collaborations were making them seem more famous and relevant than they were, which in turn was making them more famous and relevant. Who would have ever thought all you had to do was be as ridiculous as possible and you would be generating millions of fans? We truly came a long way from 6-second Vine videos.
I think that's the greatest artist of all time right there. I love you, bitch.
Summer of 2018 would be the peak of this Instagram clout wave. According to Google Trends, basically all the people we talked about in this video peaked around May to July of 2018. Kinda crazy how that happened. Shiggy was collaborating with Drake, Fatboy was a household name amongst rappers, Patty was on Ridiculousness. At this point, he was a certified stuntman. Bad Baby dropped an album with features from Lil Yachty, Lil Baby, Ty Dolla $ign, and was doing a whole US tour. It seemed like this was our new reality. Instagram stars were the new pop culture. But like all things that rise very quickly, they come crashing down just as fast. In June of 2018, rapper XXXTentacion passed away, which was a huge loss to the SoundCloud rap community. X was tied in with basically all these Instagram stars. It was a shocking blow to the whole culture. Lil Tay disappeared. The internet figured out that Tay was basically a puppet that was being controlled by her older brother. Once he got exposed, Lil Tay went on Good Morning America. Lil Tay was on Good Morning America to try and save her brother and family's reputation. It didn't work, and she wiped her Instagram clean. She's basically been gone ever since then. Boonk had a really bad fallout on the No Jumper podcast. He was intoxicated and surrounded by people who were not trying to help him. He shot himself multiple times in the leg on accident, but this didn't stop him from continuing his lifestyle. He just kept spiraling down in front of the whole world. He needed help badly. Patty did a good job maintaining his brand. He had genuine relationships with celebrities. Plus, he introduced the world to wide neck, long neck, and Nick's face, which would continue this circus for a little while. I guess people with strange deformities were the next wave on Instagram. This is where things started to get a little weird even for the fans. The Neck brothers were brought up through Patty, Adam22, and their own Instagrams. If it isn't obvious, wide neck and long neck got poppin' because of their bodies. All of their content was them making fun of themselves, women fawning over them in an ironic way. It became a moral battle for the viewers. Am I happy this person is owning their
it's cringe, honestly. Like,
genetic disadvantage and profiting off of it? Or am I just straight up making fun of them? They started dropping music, and it just started to feel like too much of a circus to entertain anymore. From this, we got the blow up of Holy God and Nick's Face, who both seem to be more positive and personable people. Also, Woah Vicky teamed up with Shay D, and she seemed to be very genuine and pleasant. However, people were starting to get tired of the same old jokes, and the shock value was just getting lower and lower. In mid-2019, Boonk was at his lowest moment. He joined a gang seeking love, acceptance, and thinking his career would be saved by his affiliation status. He knew he wasn't a gang member and wanted out of the gang. The members didn't like this for obvious reasons, and he got his jaw destroyed by a punch with some brass knuckles.
Bro.
The result of this was
he looks worse than me when I got my wisdom tooth removed. God damn,
him having his jaw wired shut for 6 weeks. This inspired him to do a full 180 with his life. He discovered his faith, put all his energy into his religion, dropped the name Boonk, and now goes by John Gabbana. He dedicates most of his life to positivity in music and on social media. Nobody helped him do this but himself. It's truly rare for us to see someone on social media hit rock bottom, then rise up in a positive way. In fact, John and Vicky are a couple now. I don't think there could be any two people more perfect for each other. So it's very sweet to see them turn their lives around.
Yeah, for real. I'm genuinely happy for this man. Like, that No Jumper thing looked horrible, and for him to come back.
Vicky and Bad Baby were basically just influencers. Nobody was even making fun of them anymore because they had already exhausted the few interesting quirks that they had. Well, Bad Baby went viral again when she started tanning. But they built an audience of people who really like them now, despite all the bullshit. TikTok kept them both relevant. TikTok was quickly becoming the #1 platform for people to spend their time on. I'm not quite sure how these two managed to transition over there well, because all of the other influencers struggled. I think it's because TikTok users were like, oh no, not you again. I came over here to stay away from you. Or maybe IG people just didn't believe that TikTok would get more relevant than Instagram. 6ix9ine went to jail in 2019. Lil Pump didn't continue his hype and everyone was fed up with his antics. There was no more Boonk gang stealing shit and causing chaos. The music industry was trying to push industry plant SoundCloud rappers like Baby Goth and Jumex, who were so obviously behind the wave of face tats and colored hair. People were mad at Adam22 for even giving these people attention. Viewers realized that they had entertained these spectacles for too long and demanded that Adam cover serious artists again. Hip-hop fans and social media in general were so fed up. It was impossible to tell what was serious and what wasn't, so everyone had trust issues. Instagram comedy took the original spark created by Viners and brought it as low as they could go. I think really the true end of this whole wave was the pandemic. Now nobody was outside. These influencers weren't collabing. They weren't taking pics with celebrities or getting invited to music video shoots. Yes, there were more people than ever sitting on social media all day, but the only way you were going to capitalize on it is if you were genuinely interesting and different. Plus, with the protesting and basically the whole USA catching on fire after the death of George Floyd, nobody was willing to put up with antics and nonsense. So basically, they didn't care to see Supreme Patty squeeze lemons in his eyes. Patty was also at his most depressed and unhealthy point, but he made a change. He started pursuing a healthy lifestyle, no more drugs, alcohol, or bad foods. He lost a ton of weight and was inspired by John Gabbana to go down the right path. Him and John actually had a boxing match in 2021 in hopes to make some money during the pandemic. These days, he's back to stunts and doing the same old stuff from 2017. Some people look at it as nostalgic, others look at it as him trying to recreate a moment that's never going to happen again.
How has he not gone blind from all those lemons in the eyes?
2020 and beyond, Drewski has been the only person to capitalize on superstardom in the Instagram comedy wave after its peak, and that's for one reason. He's genuinely hilarious. No gimmicks or bullshit, just genuinely good comedy. Mario Judah was able to pull some antics and gimmicks that got people's attention, but it didn't last very long, and he disappeared after being viral for 3 months. Really, during the pandemic, we saw the Twitch streamer wave. People who were able to entertain for multiple hours on end, which we know none of these IG people could have done. Then recently, we just had the Island Boys, who were the 2021 version of this whole Instagram clout wave. The problem is, we've seen this before. We went down this route. Face tat filled rappers with no talent that allow the internet to bully them for attention. It was an exhausted formula. We all entertained it for a month or so because it was nostalgic, but their rise and fall was faster than anyone we had ever seen before. It was a great era. A lot of the comedy was based on shock value though, which doesn't age well. Plus, you constantly have to keep raising the bar, which is unsustainable. It's unfortunate that our entertainment was at the expense of other people's livelihoods and sanity. We are currently in a cultural reset. Due to the sheer amount of people that successfully or unsuccessfully attempted this clout attention grabbing nonsense, it just won't work again. What will the next wave be?
I don't know either, but I'm happy we moved past that already. Like it didn't help nobody, you know. Man, great video, Patrick. Great video.